Caitlin.
Well, Paige and Eric, this is a long-awaited trial with two sides of the story from the early morning hours of September 14th, 2013, and heated opinions from both sides. The Farrell family says it wants justice for Jonathan and calls Kerrick's use of force wrong. On Monday, the family attorney Christopher Chestnut called Kerrick a, quote, bad apple within the department. He told members of the media if all the evidence is shown in court, he believes a jury will convict Kerrick, noting dash cam video from the scene. Even going so far as to say if he were part of the defense, he would have pleaded guilty. Kerrick's lawyers are responding in a statement with harsh criticism of the comments, saying, quote, Attorney Chestnut has not shown the discovery in the case, in the criminal case, and he did review the dash cam video in September of 2013. He misrepresented its contents to the people of Charlotte. The lawyers continued, we are deeply troubled that an officer of the court would distort the truth in order to sway public opinion and taint a jury pool. We consider these actions unethical for an attorney. Now, potential jurors will be back in Mecklenburg County Court today as the judge, prosecution, and defense try to find an unbiased pool of 12 to determine the outcome of this case.
All right, thank you so much, Caitlin. Matt Fleischman is a partner at the Rosenfield Fleischman Law Firm, joining us this morning to really give us an overview of what we can expect in day 3 of this trial. Jury selection is still ongoing, but let's first address the things that Caitlin just talked about, how these attorneys really are kind of going at it so early in this case. What impact could that have on the trial?
Well, I mean, it certainly makes for good TV. I don't think it's really going to play that much of a role in the actual trial. I mean, this is going to be a long, drawn-out trial where you actually have video evidence. So I think some of the sniping going back and forth, while interesting and certainly makes for good TV fodder, I don't think it's going to have that much of an impact.
Jury selection. We're hearing that some folks are being dismissed from the jury because of things like family vacation, starting school. But what are some of the things that they're not being dismissed for, and how difficult is this process to find an unbiased jury?
It's an extremely difficult process. It's very, very tedious. Speaking from experience, picking a jury is one of the most important things you do as a lawyer. I mean, you've all heard you want the fair and impartial jury. But as the advocate for your client, you want a jury that's going to be very favorable to your arguments, your side, and your client. So in this situation, you're trying to find a jury. You can't ask them the specific question, how would you rule?
Right.
But you want to find out if certain things influence you one way or another. And what the judge is trying to do as sort of the goalkeeper, the person who's sort of running this whole show, is keeping people on a jury who want to get off. And so lawyers have what are called peremptory challenges, the ability to kick people off of a jury for any reason whatsoever.
And they don't have to disclose the reason, correct?
That's correct. None of those have been used yet. So all the people that have been removed from the potential jury are people removed by the judge for cause. And that's when the judge decides they just cannot be fair and impartial.
So let's talk really quickly about the impartiality aspect of it, because we have a civil suit that's already been settled, and it just seems kind of so out of order. So what's going on there?
You're 100% correct. I've had multiple cases against the city, civil cases against the city that have a criminal component, and not one of those has the city attempted to settle with me prior to completing the criminal case, because they don't want information out to potentially influence a jury pool. In this case, they've done the exact opposite, and I am only left to surmise, which I'm assuming the jury would be as well, that there must be some very damning evidence against Officer Kerrick.
Which could lead to the dash cam video.
Which leads exactly to the dash cam video. And of course, I haven't seen it. Nobody's seen it at this point except for the parties, et cetera, and the council. But again, you're only left to surmise that there must be something very damning on that video that would lead the city to actually settle before the criminal trial is completed.
Yeah, so much to see.